And you're just gonna go ahead and press enter, and boom, gone. Hey, what is up, guys? It's APR2K Productions here, and today we're gonna be doing a video on this interesting iPhone 6 and its lack of auto brightness functionality, which is really weird. I'll get into great lengths about why in just a minute. But what did you guys think of my new intro? I do want to know. Let me know in the comments down below. Did you guys like it? Did you guys hate it? Let me know. So, yeah. Now, quickly, before I get into this video, I'm aware that in iOS 11, Apple moved the auto brightness to here, the display accommodation section. But, as you can see, on this iPhone 6, if I go into auto brightness, where it was on iOS 10, it is just simply not there. This is my iPhone 6s on iOS 10. You guys, if you watch my channel, will recognize this phone. But this iPhone 6 just doesn't have that. Now, proof that it's on iOS 10, I'll show you. Although the last video should be good enough proof for most of you, if you watch that one. If you haven't, I'd recommend you go do that. But yeah, iOS 10.0.2. Now, this phone also has a broken front camera and a broken proximity sensor, and I don't know if the earpiece works. The proximity sensor doesn't work, so there's not really any way to test that. Actually, there is. Be right back. Okay, so I did go ahead and test it, and it doesn't work. None of the front stuff on this phone works, except the good old home button. It's pretty cool. Now, I'm not blaming the previous owner for this. He attempted to do a screen replacement and obviously broke something or a couple things, but there's no fault to him for that. iPhones are not that easy to repair. iPhones are not made to be repaired because nowadays, compared to like the old ones like the iPhone 4 and stuff, they're just made with like cheap shit parts that don't, they're not made to be repaired. They just want you to throw it away and buy a new one, which is ridiculous, and that's why right to repair is such a big deal, but that's off topic. Auto brightness disappeared on this phone when I reset it, which is what I want to talk about because I think that's really interesting. So this phone initially did have that functionality. When I booted it up, I got it was dead completely. Plugged in about 20 minutes, booted right up. Auto brightness worked just fine. But now that I reset the phone, it's gone, which I find really, really bizarre. Why after I reset the phone is auto brightness completely gone, but before I reset the phone, it was there? The reason I think that is because it took Apple that long to notice that the ambient light sensor up there doesn't work. But when you replace the screen on an iPhone 8 or newer, the True Tone functionality will go straight as soon as they know that you replaced that screen. But the auto brightness function does not disappear until you reset the phone, which I find insanely weird. I restarted the phone like 3 times before I was able to reset it because I was having issues with the iCloud and they were trying to get off their account and stuff. It had a bunch of problems. And I restarted the phone like 3 times, but auto brightness never disappeared. And now that I actually go ahead and reset the phone, now it's gone. But Apple seems to be pretty quick on if you replace that home button or if you replace that screen, but not with the auto brightness. Apple doesn't care about that. So now that they've discovered that the ambient light sensor doesn't work, and I've gone ahead and just completely reset the phone, cleared all the previous owner's data off of it, now Apple goes ahead and is like, oh wait, yeah, that doesn't work, so let's just not give them that option. But if I went ahead and just took the screen off the 6S, put a new home button in there and all that, guess what? The second I booted up, Touch ID would be completely broken, it would no longer work. Touch ID doesn't work on this phone and never will again because you know, that home button was replaced at some point. So I find that really interesting, the fact that the auto brightness, you have to actually reset the phone for the phone to realize that it isn't there anymore. But Touch ID, Apple will get rid of as soon as possible. Or the True Tone, or the Face ID, or anything like that, Apple will get rid of. If I replace my XR screen right now, the second I boot that phone up, it will never have that functionality ever again. Unless I pay Apple to fix it, or unless I screen reprogram, which requires parts that I just don't have money for. I find this really interesting, actually. The fact that, again, you have to reset the phone. So if I took the ambient light sensor out of this 6S, that function would still be there, it just wouldn't work, because that's what happened with this. But until I reset this 6S, it would not know that that light sensor was taken out, which is just really bizarre. Anyway, guys, that's going to be it for this video. I know it's quite a long one, quite a rambly one too. But if you guys did enjoy it, you know, leave it a like. You guys know what to do. Yeah. I'm APR2K Productions, and that's it for this one.